Hello, my name's Sonella Kozovic. Angela Clark and Charlotte Arbogast are part of my team as well, and we are Team 1. Angela completed her service learning hours at DMARC and the Urbandale Food Pantry, and Charlotte and I completed ours at St. Vincent de Paul. Our presentation will cover a variety of topics, and we will begin with Angela's presentation of the history of DMARC.
Thank you. The Des Moines Area Religious Council, or DMARC, is one of our community partners. It's located in urban Des Moines, formed in 1952. It strives to act and advocate for human needs within our community. DMARC is comprised of 130 faith congregations. It offers food assistance within Polk County to ensure people have enough to eat and to reduce food insecurity. Charlotte's going to talk about the history of St. Vincent de Paul.
Okay, the history on St. Vincent de Paul actually was founded in 1833 by Frederick Ozanam. He's of France, and St. Vincent de Paul is a worldwide organization. The purpose of it is to serve the needy with food, housing, and guidance. And St. Vincent de Paul, goals of the society were and are of spiritual, service, and friendship. And to move on, we're going to talk about what their missions are. Most organizations have a mission or a vision of some sort that everybody needs to follow, or the employees are asked to take to their heart and to make it stand out and work and present the company that way. The mission for the Des Moines Area Religious Council provides means for responding to basic human needs, offers context in interfaith dialogue and outreach, and services as liaison and link between DMARC members, congregations, and our larger community. As far as St. Vincent de Paul, it's inspired by gospel values that Society of St. Vincent de Paul, a Catholic lay organization, leads women and men to join together to grow spiritually by offering each person-to-person service to those who are needy and suffering, and traditions of its founder. Blessed Frederick Ozanam and patron St. Vincent de Paul. And now we're going to talk about what our social needs are that DMARC and St. Vincent de Paul provide.
Our social needs. Our service learning project was to identify and learn about the social issues addressed in our community by our community partners who assist their clients, and we wanted to understand these needs and how we could provide service. One great need addressed by our community partners is hunger and food insecurity. DMARC has a warehouse that operates out of Des Moines that receives and distributes food to its partner pantries. 3-day supplies of food are available to 12 partner food pantries at sites located within the Des Moines area. This food is provided at no cost to individuals and families. The Urbandale Food Pantry is one of DMARC's partner food pantries. It's located in a suburb of Des Moines. DMARC provides all the shelf-ready food for the Urbandale Food Pantry. DMARC also partners with Meals from the Heartland to package ingredients for complete meals that are distributed to the area food pantries. The Urbandale Food Pantry uses some of those meals on its shelves. This particular pantry is open 5 days a week, offers nutritional food options and personal care items based on family size. And this is offered one time a month to individuals and families. Clients to the pantry are able to select their own food and personal care items, and a satellite clothing closet is also available on site. People can come for daily items such as breads or one-of-a-kind type donations that vary throughout the week.
St. Vincent de Paul has similar needs that they address. They also have a food pantry. They actually have 2 sections that they kind of help with this. So on the top level, they have a personal food pantry where individuals must check in and meet with an employee there in order to access it, and then they will show them around, and they're more than welcome to obtain the food there, canned goods, boxed goods. There's even hygiene products that are up there, so that's just available on all of their services are available on a first-come, first-served basis, but that specific one, they do need to meet with an employee and reserve a time so they can go in there. The other option that they have is in the retail section of the organization, and Hy-Vee donates a lot of the products there. So what you'll see there is a lot of bread, so various types, whether it's just the regular to something special. There's also a lot of sweets. So a lot of desserts and all of that they donate, cookies, angel bread, cakes, all that stuff. And so what the organization does is they lay this stuff out, so the bread is actually in big bins where customers can come in and grab them and take them as they choose, free of charge. And then the desserts are limited to 2 per person, and they are actually on the front shelf where you check out, just so that it's fair. In addition, these products are not just laid out all at once, because what I think they've come to find is if everything is laid out at once, there's not much variety for the later customers that come through. So they kind of spread this out in order to serve a more variety of individuals. Continuing talking about the social needs, we are going to discuss a little bit more about St. Vincent de Paul here first. So they have toys, they offer clothing, they have dishes, furniture, bags, purses. They even give out appliances, whether it's to purchase or some are even free. They serve elderly, they have infant products. They just help with such a variety of services that the community can really benefit from, and that's one just outstanding accomplishment I think that this organization has to provide. They also help with rent, electric bills, and water services. That is also first come, first served, but it's also limited depending on the circumstances, such as income levels and such sort. There's a strict process, so they have an organization method where they put their clothing, where they put their glass vases, where they put all of their products have a designed area so that not only it's helpful for the customers, but it's also helpful for the employees. If a customer comes in and asks for, where can I find infant girl clothes, they know where to take them. If they ask for dishes, they know where to take them. So it's just a wide variety that also is well organized and dedicated to help serve. Personally, I think that maintaining consistency and cleanliness and having a manageable approach as an organization is really critical. I mean, how would you feel if you went to this organization and you asked somebody for help and they didn't even know where to direct you? It's one thing if you're new and you direct them and help them find the answer, that's always an option. But if every person has to keep finding direction, then it kind of gets overwhelming. And yes, you're thankful that you're there, but then at the same time, you're kind of wondering what their values are. So I think St. Vincent de Paul helps provide all these social needs, but it also helps provide it on a community basis in an organized manner.
Besides providing materialized things, St. Vincent de Paul offers educational services. They include computer classes. One is called HISSED, and basically it's the old GED program, but renamed, and it stands for High School Diploma Efficiency. Also, they do tutoring, one-on-one, and they also have NCRC classes, which is the National Career Readiness Certificate classes. And they offer assistance with job services. And while the adults are there doing their classes at night, which is when they present the classes most of the time, the students from the college and other people come in and volunteer to take care of their kids or provide daycare or childcare, whichever you would want, while the adults are trying to learn and better themselves. Not only do they provide education, but they also have social workers that help with people's issues. There's 2 social workers, and they work with the individuals one-on-one. And with the individuals, they help them with financial assistance, again with utilities, housing, furniture, and appliances. They also help individuals find help with things that they do not offer. For instance, there might be a person that needs help with getting a new ID or something, and they would tell them where they need to go and help them assist and make phone calls and stuff. St. Vincent de Paul has served 727 families, 10,200 individuals with food and clothing, 5,000 clients with furniture, and they also provided $975,000 worth of assistance to clients in the year 2019.
That's outstanding. I mean, just by those numbers, it shows, that they have such high dedication and that they're so successful. But what makes them successful, which brings us to our next topic, is their donations. So they continuously have donations coming in. Employees are working hard to help through and sort them and make sure that they're in the right piles, make sure that they're clean, they don't have holes. All of those things are looked at when somebody brings them in. They do accept a variety of items. However, if it's dirty, they won't accept it. If you don't want it, they can throw it away for you. But just to keep things clean, they typically tell individuals that they don't accept that stuff. In addition, they don't accept like strollers and car seats, and I learned it's because of a liability issue, just in case something might not work or somebody gets injured. So I think that's kind of smart on their end, just to make sure they're managing that sort of stuff. And when you think about it, you don't, like when I thought about it, for example, I did not, think of that. I was like, sure, why wouldn't they take that, And then when I asked about it and got into a little bit more detail, I was like, well, duh, but you don't necessarily go right to that conclusion. In addition, so previously I mentioned that the organization is organized and that there is order and everything has its place. Well, they have a system. So what does this aid in? It helps them donate to these third world countries. It helps them incorporate all of their volunteers. It helps everything that they kind of built into. Whatever is ripped, whatever has been on the floor too long, just because they have received multiple donations and continuous donations, they wrap all this stuff up and they ship it off to these third world countries for their use, and it's quite generous. I mean, I don't see many organizations that have that possibility and that opportunity to do so. So I found that was really interesting of them. So there's support and friendship. This organization is a great place to be welcomed. They'll greet you, they'll help you find an item, they will address your concerns, they'll talk to you, they'll offer services. Through person-to-person contact, they are committed to respecting the dignity of those they assist. They assure confidentiality at all times and help to establish the relationships based on their trust and friendship with those customers and other individuals that they serve.
As part of my service learning opportunity, I was given the opportunity to interview clients who had been helped by St. Vincent de Paul to change their lives. And through this interview, I constructed posters that St. Vincent de Paul used in their Kickin' It fundraiser. And this was held April 15th at the Iowa Events Center. And just like everything else, like St. Vincent de Paul as well as DMARC, they all have their missions or their visions. This vision for this fundraiser was to assist those living in poverty and to become self-sufficient by helping remove roadblocks as they walk with them on their journey out of poverty. So in other words, they were helping each other by running the fundraiser to help the people in the community to work their way out of poverty one step at a time. I called Steve last week to thank him for allowing me to work there and ask him how the event went, and he said it was phenomenal. It was a country music event. They had a dinner and stuff, and he said he could not believe the generosity and all the help that they got from that. Besides doing that, I was asked if I would like to make posters on people that they had helped. So I got to call each person, formally interview them, informally too, ask them about how they got to know St. Vincent de Paul about it, and all the clients were unique, And not all the clients came from poverty people. Some, for instance, as Samuel J., which is not his real name, he asked for me not to use his real name, was a very popular and productive TV person. And he was forced to quit his job or get fired for the fact of health issues. So when he was fired, he actually went on Social Security disability and used all his savings, and then was falling short on his rent and stuff, and found out about St. Vincent de Paul and went there and visited them. And they helped him set up an apartment, helped pay his rent and his utilities, clothing, food, and furniture. And he said when I was talking to him that if it wasn't for St. Vincent de Paul, he doesn't know where he'd be, because they gave him a second chance with his life, and they also gave him back his self-esteem. And the girl in the picture with him is Chastity, who is actually one of the social workers. And he said, "Chastity has saved my life twice." And this is his quote: "Chastity has saved my life 2 times. She has changed my outlook on life." And he said he would do anything, he'd walk on water if he could, for Chastity, because she has been there for him and helped him through several issues. Another person that I interviewed, like I said, they all come from different aspects of life. This girl grew up and was born in Des Moines, and her mom actually used St. Vincent de Paul when she was little. She moved to LA, and when she moved to LA, she became a realtor. She also had college classes, and actually was an actress on in Ritz and a couple other movies. Then she got mixed up with the wrong gang or wrong crowd, and was married to an abusive husband and was mixed in with drugs. And one night she found herself being hit by a car. So it was a hit-and-run accident, and basically destroyed her life. She said that she has back issues and stuff now. When she did recover from her accident, she moved back to Des Moines, and the first thing she did was contact St. Vincent de Paul. She had no ID or anything. Well, they aren't able to help her with that, but they were able to put her with people who actually got her ID and everything rebuilt for her. St. Vincent de Paul again applied apartment or helped with rent for her, furnished it for her, and gave her food and clothing. And she said, St. Vincent de Paul helped me when I needed it and pointed me in the right direction for other assistance. And she couldn't say anything bad about St. Vincent de Paul. She actually said that she owes her life to them. My third person that I interviewed was Roy. And Roy, on the other hand, has been an alcoholic for over 30 years. He drove a truck and stuff during that time to feed his addiction of alcohol. But he said he never really had a life. He just lived from paycheck to paycheck and job to job because he drank all his money and stuff. And he placed his life in God's hands. And with the help of St. Vincent de Paul, he's on his way of changing his life. He's learning to be better at math and reading, and he hopes to pass his CDL test so that he can become an actual truck driver and get a better job and make a better living. And he says that St. Vinny's means a lot to me. You do a great job of helping people get back on track with their lives. St. Vincent de Paul has patience with folks, and they take time to work with anyone. Give them help and encouragement to take the next step. So you can see that St. Vincent de Paul doesn't just work with the poverty level people. Anything can change a person's life. It could happen to us tomorrow, and by us working there, we would know that we could actually get help and know where to go, and maybe we wouldn't need all their help, but they could help us with assistance and tell us where to go to get what we need help with. So they're changing everybody's life, not just the poverty level people too. And there's more details in our PowerPoint about the survivors. I actually interviewed more than 3, but those 3 were the 3 that really stuck out in my mind, and about how they changed people's lives and how they help more than just one certain person.
Thank you, Charlotte. Those were unbelievable stories. I mean, like you said, it's just the movement, and every time you say that, I get chills. Even reading it. So it's just the influence that all organizations have that do this kind of stuff. I mean, it's not just St. Vincent de Paul. Angie's done the same stuff with Neimark and the Urbandale Food Pantry. It's just helping others. So we're going to kind of switch gears here, talk a little bit about success. So I'm just going to kind of start talking, and then it'll all make sense here in a second. So you're going to try. Then you're going to try again. Then you're going to try one more time. Then you're going to try it a little differently. Try it tomorrow. Try and ask for help. Try to find someone who's done it. Try to determine what's not working. Try to determine what is working. And then just keep trying. So what is the key point of this? Is just to keep trying. So Charlotte wouldn't have been able to, see those influences if she didn't try to reach out to them. But if one individual did not answer the phone, okay, cool, she needs to try again. And what if Angie did not find success in one organization? She needs to try again. What if I didn't, have the greatest experience? Well, maybe try again. Maybe somebody's having a bad day. Maybe, maybe there is an alcoholic that they don't know what to do with their life. Try and help them. I mean, just being there for somebody and being that encouragement for them is going to lead you to your success. So whether it's whatever organization, whatever we are doing, as long as we're helping and being servant leaders, then we can be on the road to success.
So we've discussed some of the experiences that we've had with our service learning project individually and also as a team collectively, and we'll address that in a few moments. But the nature of our service learning project was to identify and learn about the social issues of our community partners and what they address for the community. We developed objectives for our team that support their efforts through our individual and our group service. We sought to serve the clients of our community partners and understand their personal needs. An intended outcome was developing a vision of service to others within our communities while preparing us as servant leaders. So some of the objectives that we established from the start for our service learning project. We wanted to identify the needs of the community, work with them, and to guide them in helping themselves. We aimed to interact with the community that included individuals and families from different cultural and socioeconomic status. We wanted to understand their stories, as Charlotte pointed out, and how they came to need assistance and services with our community partners. We wanted to demonstrate an understanding of how St. Vincent de Paul and DMARC and its food pantry partners provide assistance to our community. Our goal was to serve others in the community and prepare ourselves as servant leaders in our professional healthcare roles. So from the information and the knowledge that we gained from our servant leadership course, the service leadership learning project proceeded with service to our community partners. Both individually and then collectively as a team, we made contributions to them and tried to make an impact. The project allowed us to identify the needs of the underprivileged in our community. Working with clients at the community partners gave us an understanding of their needs and how the efforts from these agencies help people to better themselves. As we interacted with clients, we gained an understanding of their whole picture, their needs, their reasons for receiving assistance, and so much more. We saw how St. Vincent de Paul and DMARC provide assistance of food, clothing, utilities, household supplies, personal care products, and education to their clients. These needs will continue to exist, and we know this, within our communities as long as there is hardship. But these organizations continue to work to improve the lives of their clients and give them hope for the future. Finally, and most importantly, our service learning project gave us a vision to serve others and to develop ways to help better our communities as servant leaders.
Next, our goal assessment. First of all, we did accomplish our goals. We all were servant leaders of the poor, or servants of the poor, as in summed with St. Vincent de Paul's quote. And I'm going to read his quote. It says, "You are the servants of the poor. They are your masters. And the more difficult they will be, the more unjust and insulting, the more love you must give them. It is your love alone that the poor will forgive you. The bread you will give them." And I feel that we all really truly did serve the poor. We were all involved with the poor firsthand. I mean, we all worked at different places, but we handed out food or interviewed them or worked with clothing and stuff. We all know what it was like, and I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed working with the poor. I didn't really feel sorry for them, and to me, they uplifted me. I felt uplifted after helping them because they were actually very thankful and very upbeat about it. I felt like I was able to actively listen to their problems and challenges and concerns, and I was energized by them and by their outlook on how they could change their lives and stuff with the help from St. Vincent de Paul. I actually felt it was a privilege to be part of their change. And
I would agree with that. It was a privilege. And we all did serve the poor and a variety of other individuals and customers too. And this quote, and I kept reading it, and the only thing that could pop into my head was another quote. But the quote that I immediately thought of was, "You're only as strong as your weakest link." And I'm just going to say that's anonymous. And just because, you know, the poor is part of our community, and how well they do is how well we do. I mean, if we're not serving them and we're not helping them, then how good are we really? I think it's just very important to know these sort of situations that are present in our community and then help address them along with that.
And like I said earlier in the presentation, all organizations have a mission or goals set out to follow. And we've already talked about DMACC and St. Vincent de Paul's, but now we're going to talk a little bit about Mercy College of Health Sciences mission that we've already encountered by following and followed by our adventures in our college classes. So Mercy College of Health Science prepares graduates for service and leadership in healthcare community by integrating its core values with a professional and liberal arts and science education. I mean, I truly feel that an education I've picked up from Mercy is well beyond what my coworkers at work have gone through with other colleges, and I think it's been a good schooling.
And along with that, we're going to touch base on the core values of Mercy College of Health Sciences. So Mercy College is a Catholic institution of higher education rooted in the heritage of the Sisters of Mercy, guided by our core values of knowledge, reverence, integrity, compassion, and excellence. So knowledge, I think we've all gained knowledge, and we continue to grow in our knowledge and our well-being of humankind. We all have love for learning, and you know, this just opened up our eyes to learning in general and knowing more about our community. Reverence, I think we all have more respect for our community, not just the poor, not just alcoholics, not just, you know, people that need certain things, whether it's X, Y, or Z. It doesn't matter. We just have more respect in general for everyone, just because helping others is what makes us us and makes us caring and loving. Integrity, we're all upright, honest, sincere, and trustworthy. So that's all seen in the dedication of the volunteers that help at each of these organizations, both DMACC and St. Vincent de Paul. I'm sure there's many organizations that maybe don't have that much. So maybe we're the fortunate ones to see that volunteer effort there from others and not just us as well. And then compassion and just feeling with others. So like Cheryl's examples with her interviews, those are such touch-worthy examples, and you know, we've all experienced something, whether it was there or with a friend, with a family member, with someone at school, with one of our professors. It doesn't matter. I think we've all had that compassion, and then this service learning project just enhanced that and made it all aware and available.
And to go with that, St. Vincent has a sticker that they have out. It says St. Vincent de Paul loves helping others. Won't you help too? And my answer to that question is yes. I know I will be able to help, and with, you know, people in my community and stuff. I won't be able to drive to Des Moines because it's 2.5 hours for me, so I probably won't help at St. Vincent. But you know, who knows? I may move to Des Moines someday. But I do plan to help in my community. One of the things I'm going to be doing as soon as I go back to work, hopefully this week, is I will be the leader of the monthly oncology support group. And I think that will be a good place for my servant leadership, as well as I plan to help with other nonprofit organizations and to help out more at the hospital with the little things that I never knew about before. So.
I also agree. I volunteered at St. Vincent de Paul, and I loved being there. I mean, I went there, and you see all these smiling faces. They're happy that you're there, and I'm like, whatever I can do to help you is what I'm here for. So let me know what you need help with most, and then we can conquer that together. As long as things slow down for me, as far as I'm kind of running all over the place with all my other tactics and goals that I have going on too, but that's going to be slowing down here in the next month or so. And I mean, I would love to continue helping, and I've even talked to Tammy, and she's like, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. So it's something to look forward to.
From our service learning project, I learned, of course, that being a servant leader involves placing others before ourselves. We can provide service to meet the needs of those community by trying to serve others, thinking of them first. We know there are needs everywhere. Even in the suburbs of Des Moines, there are needs. As a healthcare professional, there are going to be opportunities for me to work with diverse people, some who are facing vulnerable times and struggles in their life, and I need to be aware of those. And I think this service project has offered us that opportunity to be more aware of what people are facing out there. Based upon our service learning project, I'm more aware of the needs of our community and what people are encountering. I know that service and servant leadership in mind can benefit so many. I also plan to remain involved with the food pantry and with Meals from the Heartland. And as a team, collectively, if I may speak for all of us, we learned the value of seeking out and serving with a community partner. We learned about serving others first, committing to a service learning project that would impact our community. We learned to collaborate as members of a team. And we are better individuals and healthcare professionals as a result of learning about and applying the concepts of servant leadership to our service experience. Now, if either of you have anything further to add, please do. Otherwise, that will end our presentation.
I will just end with, you can make someone smile, you can make them relax, and you can make someone feel that there's hope out there. So you should be the change that everyone's looking for, and be a servant leader and help everyone else around you.
Thank you, girls. This has been a great project to work together with both of you on. Thank you for your dedication and your hard work.
Thank you guys so much. Same to you.